Do you know what the patriarchal paradigm is?
No.
Yes.
No, I do not know.
No. No, I do not.
I don't. What?
What the patriarchal paradigm is?
Patriarchal Paradigm. I've never heard.
Yes.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
It doesn't really affect me like that because as the eldest male, I don't really have like any responsibilities to like be the man in the family like that. Because my elder sister still get more things than me. It's not like biased towards me because I'm the eldest male.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
Okay, so at school, a lot of boys do sciences like physics, chemistry, and I do chemistry. So doing chemistry, I'm always suppressed because they believe that I cannot do chemistry as much as boys can, and I cannot pass chemistry as much as boys can. And it's just a stereotype. And I actually do very well in chemistry, better than some boys.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
It doesn't affect me in school, but at home I'm obliged to do basic chores and the house and cooking. So basically, I do more work than my brothers.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
I think it affects me in various ways. Day-to-day life, like I could have a very significant percentage less of like getting in particular schools or getting particular jobs because of the simple fact of my gender. And when it comes to some things, it is as if like, oh, like even teachers make like small comments like, oh, she's a girl, blah blah blah, that's why she can't do this, she can't do that. Like it's so normalized that girls should not have the power to do some certain things, or women in general should not be able to, you know, achieve some certain things as men. And to me, I find it just quite ridiculous because yeah, body-wise, physically, we are not the same. Not everybody's the same, but still, that doesn't like mean that you should have the right or say to just think on your own that automatically a man is better at something without even giving a woman a try. Because as a female, I would have to work 10 times harder than any male, which is just the average fact.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you? How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
I think the patriarchy affects us in multiple ways, both men and women, even in ways we are constantly unaware of. But I think the major way it affects me is that as a bold and outspoken person who, often stands up for what they believe in and, knows what she wants, it often feels like I'm being judged more than my male counterparts, and unfair stereotypes are being placed on me, like the angry black woman or the stubborn girl or the mean feminist or whatever. And when other people or males express the same emotions, such as anger, they are not seen the same way I am seen. And other than that, a lot more is expected of me. I'm expected to juggle good grades with a sensible social life and still help out at home, be a nanny, be a cook, be a therapist. So there's a lot of pressure put on young women that isn't often recognized, and I think this is as a result of the patriarchy and the patriarchal system.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
To be honest with you, I do not think it's affecting me. The only thing is, I try to restructure the minds of my friends, male friends like myself, that they shouldn't be self-dominating with their relationship with women. Women should also have a place in the political affairs of a country, socially, economically, and in every way they can. So it's not like it's really affecting me.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
Well, mostly in regards to like my parents and what they expect of me. Like when I was choosing a career, what I wanted to do, the topics I wanted to choose, like politics, the subjects like politics, economics, even sociology, like stuff like that. They didn't really think it would be. They would have preferred it for my brothers to do something like that instead of me. And they wanted me to study medicine more. Because like, I should be taking care of people and all that. And also my mom, because especially like in relation to like the kitchen, she's like, oh, come on, you know how to cook. If you don't know how to cook, you're not going to get if you don't know how to cook, nobody will want you, that you have to because you're a woman and this is what women are supposed to do. And then, but my brothers are not bothered about that. Like even now that I'm doing IGCSEs, it's not as important to them in a way because nobody really gives me space to study. But when my brothers were doing it, like my mom said, we have to leave them alone, that they're doing very important exams and we have to give them the time to study and we can't call them for anything. But they still call me around to do best kitchen, clean and stuff like that.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
Well, it puts me in a position of leadership in many aspects of my life, and I'm handling the pressure well. Yeah, thank you.
How do you believe the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
Well, it affects me like so many ways. And really, I noticed something like that. Like in my area, some of the girls, they don't go to school, and they marry early. I have someone like that married early, and well, the only mistake I know that the parents, let me just say that it's not their culture, that some of them, they marry early and most of them have miscarried when they get pregnant. And I've witnessed a situation like that. The girl have like 4 miscarried. Yeah. And they don't go to school and it really affects a lot. But I wish if they can, give them the education and then for them to start. And again, I have a friend, like the man, an Hausa man, he said he wish if he can get married to another tribe. You understand? And I asked him that why. He said because they are women, they are girls, they don't work. You understand? They just allow them to stay at home as a full housewife, And he wish if they can allow them to work, to go to school, they should be more educated. Well, that's just all what he said.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
I think it's restricting the opportunities I get in school and outside of school, especially when it comes to stuff like sports, where the guys are usually seen as the more athletic or energetic people, while the girls and girls teams are seen as less than or just not as interesting to watch or coach or train. Even I think the only way it's not affecting me is academically, because most of the guys are more sporty and athletic, so the girls sort of take the better side when it comes to academics and not necessarily athletic wise. But even in my house as well, I'm the only daughter, so my dad especially thinks that I should be the one to clean and even learn how to cook and basically just be the babysitter or the nanny for my parents, which I feel like is very straining on me as a a teenager in secondary school, seeing as I have my own life and my own things to deal with. So it's another added pressure as a female in the society.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
I don't really think it affects me, but it may affect the people surrounding me, such as the women, as they aren't in the ideal situation to be leading a household. So I feel it's kind of sexist and gender-based. Yeah.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm is affecting you?
Exactly. Well, number one, I think it will make it look as if for you, as a man, you just get things on a platter of gold. It does not allow you, it does not allow you to actually, give in your best, because since the government or the society is skewed towards men, you just take it like for a ride. Well, since I'm a man, I can always get away with things. So it actually doesn't bring out your best.
How do you feel it will affect your future?
Definitely when I eventually get a job. I feel like, especially in the field I want to go in, that men are going to have more chances than me, or better pay, and like treated better in general. And also, just living pretty much, because if I want to walk around or do anything like on my own, it's going to be a danger. I always have to have some kind of protective device on me, maybe like a knife or something. So I don't know, it's just constant fear pretty much.
How do you think it will affect your future? And if so, positively or negatively?
I think it will negatively affect my future, since as the eldest boy, I would have a larger responsibility to be leading a household, which may be difficult work for me. Yeah.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm will affect you and society in the future?
Well, it will really affect. If we don't allow the women to have their own rights, it affects a lot, because in some places that want to defend ourselves, we won't be able to do that. At least for us, we just need to speak out, and that's just what we need. Speak out, they can be able to organize things, and then some kind of, let me just say, some kind of campaign, just to educate, most especially the parents. That's the only solution.
How do you think the patriarchal paradigm concept will affect the future?
Number one is that it's a system that that breeds inequality. Number one, and anything that breeds inequality is not, and that's not fair. That's not competitive. It's not even good for the society. Because number one, the man or the men, like I said earlier, will take things for granted and will not bring out the best. Because God has deposited in us, that ability to create wealth and also to be creative. And for the women, it will now make them to overwork themselves. And of course, when you feel that society is not fair, you will not just be happy. And so it will create an unhappy and a society that's not egalitarian.
How do you feel it will affect your future, and if so, positively or negatively?
I think this will affect me negatively in the future, because seeing as I want to be an architect, and architecture is mainly a male-dominated course, I feel like that will be another extra stress on me, even though architecture is also another difficult course to take. So I feel like being a female and also learning math and physics, all these male subjects would be very straining on me and would make me feel like out of place, and that I should be doing the more female subjects like economics or arts or something, whereas I do feel like I can do those things, but even the teachers and the students will not make me feel like I have the potential and I have what it takes
to actually be the best architects that I can be.
How do you feel the patriarchal paradigm will affect your future?
Well, I don't know.
How do you feel it will affect your future?
I feel like it would have a massive impact on my future. Looking at the circumstances I'm in, to be fair, I am privileged enough to be in the school I'm in, like the kind of circumstances I'm in which it would not affect me as deeply as I think it would. By that I mean I am in a modern family. My father sent me to school. It wasn't like, oh, I would either send you or your brother to stay home, do housework. It wasn't like that. My father sent me to school. He believes in equal rights of education, be it whatever gender, that type of family. I'm blessed to be in that type of family and that type of modern society and stuff like that. But when it comes to my future, I would like to endeavor in a career of like the medical field. I'd like to become a surgeon, and it is a known fact that female surgeons have to work, if not 50 times harder than any male surgeon. Female surgeons will always get all the smart work, they'll get everything. Because of the simple fact that males have higher authority in the medical field, which is a basic fact. It is something that's changing over time, but it will not really change. There are very few female surgeons, so the competition is very high out there. And obviously, I would have to go through not even getting the same respect as a man, even though my grades could be higher, I could have worked harder, and be the fact that I'm also black and I'm also Muslim, so it's just like more things. So it's just like something that I have come to accept, but at the same time something that I'm fighting, which is why I hate, not like I don't want my male friends to do good, but I hate it when us females give them a reason, a solid fact, for them to say they are better than us.
Well, it's not going to affect the future of the society because right now everybody's becoming aware of who we truly are, our fundamental human rights, and then I don't know if you're aware that there's this lectures that have been going on for girls, educate the girl child, women empowerment, female enlightening and all of that. So I do not think it will become a big problem in the future, okay? Because right now all hands are on deck to see that such things are being wiped away.
How do you feel it will affect your future?
I feel like, because even at this age and when I was picking subjects and everything that was going on throughout my school career, I have been told how difficult it is to be a woman in the corporate world, to be a woman in STEM, to be a woman in law, to be a woman in politics. And because I would like to go into a career and work in a field that is highly male dominated, I feel like can I say sexualized?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like I'm put at risk to be sexualized, or that my femininity and my body and my things that shouldn't be considered first will take priority instead of my degrees or my intelligence or my personality or my mental capacity, that I will be entering the workforce with another disadvantage, one that isn't skin color. So yeah, I feel like that's how it will mostly affect my future.
How do you feel it will affect your future?
It can cause problems in like my family, my future family, like between my future wife and things like that.
Do you feel it will affect your future, and if so, positively or negatively?
I feel like if I was to get a job, just because I'm a woman, I would get paid less, or I wouldn't get as much benefits from that job as a male co-worker.
How do you think it will affect your future? If so, positively or negatively?
I don't think it will have anything to do with my future, because if I was to have kids, I wouldn't use this system on them, because I feel it's not fair, as you can't choose your gender aspect, so it's not good to be biased towards one gender, because it's God that chose your gender.
How do you feel it will affect your future, and if so, positively or negatively?
I was working in the STEM field, so me as a science student, I think that it will affect my morale and it will affect how I proceed at my various university. And in life, when I'm like practicing medicine and all that stuff. So when I'm at work or something, it can always like undermine me just because I'm a human and I'm not seen as a man.
How do you feel that it will affect your future, and if so, positively or negatively?
I think it will affect my future positively because I will continue to be in a position of leadership, and I feel like I have the skills to positively impact the people under me. Thank you.